first one. It's not even coming out till February, so I have till then.
And it's only 45 minutes?
I don't know, actually. I don't think we've set a length.
Huh. For some reason, I thought you mentioned about 45 minutes.
That's probably all I get. I don't, because I'm not allowed to play music unless I buy the rights to it, which I'll probably look into.
Yeah.
Or I could just cover all the Soundgarden shit. Silverchair. I could cover a bunch of their songs, and then it's just me doing them, and then I don't have to pay royalties.
That's it. As long as it's you singing it, it's fine.
Or just do that thing where you make it sound just like it, but a little different.
Yeah.
I've been looking this up online. They're brilliant. There's this one band, I forget what they're called, but every song is exactly like an AC/DC song, but it'll be off by like one chord. Just enough.
Instead of da-da-da, it's da-da-da.
Yeah, exactly.
Every story starts the same way. I'll just do a little bit until Sunday. Now I don't even know who I am.
Cool.
Not that I ever really did. Once it's in your head, it's in your head. A big decision. Taking sides. And when you meet the devil, he will always say he isn't. Taking sides. Once it's in your head, it's in your head until it isn't. Once it's in your head, then your head becomes a prison.
Hi there. Happy whatever Wednesday. It's October 23rd, 2019. And I'm Eric, talking at you as always from beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where whenever somebody starts a sentence with, "It's always been my understanding," everything they're about to say is 100% bullshit.
That's the truth. From my understanding, that's the truth.
From my understanding. It's always been my understanding that's very true. Sorry, guys. I'm really tired tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on. I did not sleep well, and then I had an exhausting day getting things all set up. But hi, welcome. Hi,
everybody. Hello.
Little disappointed that I still have yet to receive the $25 email. I've been checking all day. Nobody's going for it. I don't understand.
It's free money, you fucking idiots. Come on.
Literally the easiest money in the world.
Like, literally, this is easier than having to look down and pick it up. You aren't doing what you're doing. You just you're on your phone, you're on your computer, just lean over and Eric at ericandgord.com. Hey, fuckers, love the show. Listen to it occasionally, every night.
Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, just don't be a dick. Is that the problem? Are all of our listeners dicks and they're all like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
That could be it.
How about this? Fake it.
Fake it.
Pretend you're at your mother's house.
I've added a new email address that you can email us on. So now you have 4 options to send in your email and get $25. It's eric@ericandgord.com, gord@ericandgord.com, or you can email us. You get bonus points for emailing us at timcookhasgenitalwarts@gmail.com. Or I've added the new, I can prove Tim Cook has genital warts @outlook.com.
Oh my God.
I can prove. And by the way, if you notice, Gord, that's the email address that this account was started with. I don't know if that comes up on your screen.
No, that didn't come up on the screen.
But I also filled out all of Tim Cook's information instead of mine, so this is technically his Outlook account. So it's Tim Cook, and his email address is I can prove Tim Cook has genital warts @email.com. Outlook.com. Sorry.
Oh, that's just so
you now have 4 options to send in. All you got to do is email us, and you get $25. Just don't be a dick. It's that simple. First 2 people, $25. So get it out to us right away. In the meantime, when you're done listening to me and Gord, you can now finally listen to my favorite podcast, Is It Philosophy, with Matthew Plotner, and yours truly having a very lively discussion about some religious things. I sound pretty smart on it. It's actually pretty good.
I actually look forward to listening to it.
You
and
should.
I actually will.
I hope
I
you
actually
do.
will listen to it. Yeah.
It's pretty short. I'm not sure the length, but it's under an hour. And it's a really good conversation. I really enjoyed it. And
Awesome.
I'm gonna keep you guys posted because it's a little way down the road. But I will also be hosting a new podcast starting in February, an all '90s rock podcast called "The Stories Behind the Songs," where I get to talk about a couple of my favorite bands and why they're awesome and why you should listen to them. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for more information on that. There's some other great hosts doing some other great things, and I'll keep you. There'll be a Facebook page about it tomorrow, so I'll link that all up tomorrow.
I am really, really excited for this.
I'm super stoked.
That's wicked.
It's an opportunity to actually see if I can be moderately professional. I don't think I can, but it's worth a try.
First of all, I know for a fact you can, because basically you're the professional one on this fucking site, so that says something. Well, I guess. But the big thing is this is really huge for you, because not only are you get to do another podcast because you love doing podcasts, you just love the ability to talk or whatever else, which is great, but not only do you get to talk music on said podcast, but you get to talk about the bands and the music that you personally enjoy.
Yeah, that's very cool. And
this is the coolest shit in the world.
For two bands that I've always really, really respected. One is the Sugar Cubes, which was where Bjork got her big break, and I'm a huge Bjork fan. The Sugar Cubes are an amazing band. They're kind of like the B-52s, but really, really talented.
Fuck you, B-52s.
Kind of.
You're named after an amateur shot. Fuck you.
But it's really good music. It's not like Bjork music. It's poppy, really good stuff. I really enjoy it. Don't know how many albums they had. I'll have to look into it. I only own 2. But I know there's more than that. And then I get to talk about Silverchair, who I have such a love-hate relationship with Silverchair. Number one, they're Australian. Points against them right there. Number 2, they're 2 years younger than me. That's points against them because they got massively famous off a stupid radio contest. They were 15 years old when Tomorrow came out.
Yeah.
That's just annoying. And then the poor bastard just had a shit life. That band could have been so much more than they were, but he kept, he battled with a lot of different illnesses. And ultimately destroyed them. Now he does like gospel music that's terrible. But I think Diorama is one of the greatest albums of all time, and I don't care what anybody says. It's absolutely life-changingly good. So I'm looking forward to talking about it.
I always actually hated the band because that song Tomorrow, because he talks about, hey, fat boy.
Yeah.
Everybody used to sing that to me.
Oh, Jesus.
I was always like, fuck you, Silverchair.
There's plenty of reasons not to like them. In the Frog Stomp days, there's a lot of Nirvana underneath it, like way too much. Like you can just hear, even down to the chord progressions are very similar.
Oh yeah.
And then they tried to get weird, which I hate when bands try to get weird. Fucking Smashing Pumpkins did it. Metallica tried it for that one album. It's like, don't try to get art. You're not arty. You're not live. Fucking quit trying.
Did you know that Bad Religion did that?
You know what? I think I might have, actually.
They have one album where they went full on new wave.
Yes, I've heard of this. I've never heard any of it though.
Oh, I have, and it is fucking atrocious.
Have you?
It is so. Oh my god, it's terrible in every sense of the word. It's really bad new wave music done by a band who doesn't know how to do new wave.
Yeah, that's why I've never attempted it. Well, number one, because I hate it, and number 2, because I wouldn't have the first clue what I was doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. And oh yeah, it's fucked.
Would you call like Tears for Fears new wave? Is that, are they? And like The Cure?
I just straight up call them 80s.
Yeah.
New wave is like New Order. They were new wave.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know if like The Cure and stuff fell into that group. I really don't like the new wave bands. In the early 2000s, there was a big resurgence because they put out that movie about them all.
Yes,
and,
that's right.
Something, I don't remember what it's called. Something Pete Tong. Something about Pete Tong.
Yeah.
It's all gone Pete Tong. That's what it's called.
That's right.
Terrible movie, and brought back. I tried to get into it because a lot of my friends were excited about it, and just couldn't. The music's crap. But I did like certain '80s music, that emo stuff. I love Tears for Fears. I think we've had this conversation, and you're not a fan, I believe.
Of who?
Tears for Fears?
No, I like Tears for Fears.
Oh, okay. Someone I know doesn't. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not going to call myself like a huge fan, but I have a soft spot for them specifically. And this is a really weird reference, but because they did that song "Mad World," yeah, and I really like their version. I really like how they did it. It's a great song. But
have you heard the acoustic version they did for Donnie Darko?
Yes, I have. Trust me, I've heard almost every version out there. But nothing beats the version that was released for the there's a video game.
Yeah.
I think it was Gods of War. It's just that very soft and mad world, but oh my god, it's just a dude running. He jumps through a wall. There's this giant fucking like multi-eyed creature there, and it was just so awesome.
I've only ever heard a clip of it on the commercial for that video game, but I've never heard the full version. I should look into that.
By the way, just so you know, the Bad Religion album is called Into the Unknown.
Into the Unknown, of course it is.
Yeah, and it's actually their second album.
Really? See, people, that sophomore album is always a risk. People either take a giant risk with it or they don't, but there's no middle ground with your sophomore album. And a lot of bands crash and burn on it every time. Live was...
certainly did.
Just thinking 90s bands. Live was one that just took a nosedive on their second album. There's a ton of...
Yeah, whatever happened to that band? Like, I mean, they had that one great first album.
Yeah, and then they got weird.
And then they got weird. Son of a bitch. I still love the fact that everybody thought that the lead singer was like a Hare Krishna guy, and he just got really drunk the day before the band's first video shoot, and they ended up shaving his fucking head when he was all hammered.
That's
He's like, oh, no, I'm this guy. Because he had really long hair before.
Yeah, he did. There's a video with his long hair in it. Anyway, they went weird on their second album. Who else is there's so many examples, especially in the 90s. People that just actually Blind Melon went totally different direction with their second album, and they got really, really good on it. But
yeah,
they lost a lot of fans because it was a huge departure from the first one.
Yeah, everybody wanted the B song.
Exactly. Yeah, and he never redid it. Actually, on their third record, they did a great, really dark version of that song called the Ripped Away version.
That's right.
Which is that's one of those ironic songs that's just amazing, and no one got the point that it's all about manic depression, and I just love that about it. I absolutely love that. I love when people do that. Like,
just a cute. Everybody just thinks it's just a cute little song.
Yeah, it was like when Americans cheer for "Born in the USA." It's like, have you ever actually listened to that song?
Was it the song "Born to Run" by Bruce Springsteen? At one point, they wanted to make that the U.S. national anthem. Until they realized just like what's all the lyrics are actually in it. And they're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, you don't really want to make any of his songs a national anthem.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
He is awesome. I think he doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. He's got some massive fans, but on a whole, he doesn't get the credit that I think he deserves.
You know who just released a new technical set of albums?
I do not.
Thurston Moore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right. From fucking what's her name?
Crazy.
Why can't I think of the band name?
I'm not gonna say it. I'm making you sweat.
You fucker. Sonic Youth.
There you go.
Yeah. It's 3 albums, which makes 1 album. Weird. And the reason is because the shortest song is, I think the shortest song is 47 minutes.
Jesus.
The other 2 songs, which is each other album, One's like 65 minutes, the other one's like 71 minutes or something like that.
I don't think you can pull that shit off anymore. I really, it was cool when the Doors did it. They had like the one whole side of a record was one song. I don't think people don't have the attention span for a 65-minute song now.
Pink Floyd did it with Echoes, and it was amazing. It's my favorite Pink Floyd song.
Yeah, different time. I don't think you could pull it off anymore.
I think you can if you have enough going on in the song. If it's just the same thing basically repeated throughout, it's not going to work. But
I don't think
if you do it enough where it sounds like it sounds like it could be like 20 different songs, but it's just one bit of continuous music, I think you could pull it off.
That's possible. It's like that thing where you put on Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz. I don't think anybody's going to go to that effort anymore like we used to.
No, well, you don't have to now. Now you just go on fucking YouTube and it's already done for you.
Yeah.
Everybody's on lazy.
It used to be a cool thing. I don't think people do shit like that anymore. And I know musicians try, but I don't think you're going to get the response that you used to with that kind of stuff. I'll try it. I'll put out a 65-minute song. I'll go write it tonight.
I'll write it in 21 minutes.
Write it and record it in 21 minutes. Done.
I thought it was funny though because I was listening to an interview with Thurston Moore and he was talking about his album, these songs, and it was really humorous. But he said that I can't remember who it was. Some other musician had invited him to go up. It was some like older dude had invited him to go up and play on his album, and so Thurston Moore's like, yeah, I'll fucking play. So he goes over, he does this like long-winded sort of jams thing with him, and he gets off the stage. The guy's like, oh, that was cool. Can we get somebody up here who's less flashy?
Oh my god, really?
Flashy? I don't know if I'd call Thurston Moore flashy.
That's hilarious.
Laughing at that himself.
I used to have a great group of guys that I would go jam with in Maple Ridge. We'd about one Saturday a month we'd get together, and anyone was more than welcome to come to this house and jam. The only rule was you couldn't show up with anything pre-written.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it all had to be improv, and we'd get like trombone players and like harmonica players, just weird people would show up, and this guy would record every session, and at Christmas he'd put out a CD of all the best of it. Every Christmas.
Oh, that's such an amazing idea.
Yeah, it was great. He had his living room had no furniture in it. His living room was totally empty, and he turned his master bedroom into a recording booth. And just his house was a studio. And just every Saturday you could show up and jam.
Oh, that's amazing.
It ended a few years ago. I'm not sure why, but there's some great music. Some nights it was amazing, and some nights it's just complete garbage.
Oh, of course. Not every night's fucking gonna be perfect.
But it was always a lot of fun.
I went with a friend of mine. Hey, Jen. She was going to college for guitar. So she's taking a very special music course at one of the colleges. And I went with her on her first day of school. I guess it was the first day of school. She was really nervous, so I went with her. And me being a guitar player as well, she felt comfortable with me being there and everything else. And so we show up, and there's every other type of musician under the fucking sun. It's not just guitar players, but you have same thing. You got bass players, drummers, horn sections, accordion players, fucking harmonica guys, every instrument under the sun. And everybody's hanging out in the fucking hallway just sort of talking to their own little cliques. So I just start, me doing what I do is I just start talking to all the groups. Like, so what kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you guys like? So they turn around and say, I turn to Jen. I'm like, Jen, yeah, start fucking playing something. I don't give a fuck what. Just start playing something. And then I just walk up to the one random group like, hey, guys, play something that goes along with this. I want to see where everybody is, what level everybody's at, and where's everybody going with this. So everybody at this point is thinking I'm a fucking teacher. And next thing you know, the hallway is filled with musicians, and they're doing this full-on open jam session, playing just the most random of shit. Everybody's going off doing their own sort of thing, and it all ties in together. It was fucking awesome. That's so much fucking fun.
That would have been cool.
And then I never went back.
And then the teacher showed up, and it was like, it's my understanding that
music is supposed to be structured. Ah, you suck.
I hate music teachers. I really do. Music teachers always tend to take the fun out of music. Right.
Yeah. It's all about theory. You have to know theory. No, you play by feel.
Yeah, I have a theory. Your math is crap. How's that?
I'll show you the equation. It's A minor says so. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. I've got some math for you. E equals help yourself. You think your pal Jim Morrison knew anything about theory?
I'm gonna assume no.
I don't think he can spell theory.
I actually was listening to. Ironic that you bring up the Doors. I was actually the other night. I was doing some shit in the computer, and I had put on a recording of the Doors that was recorded live in 1970, I think, in Vancouver.
Oh, really?
Yes, and so I'm listening to it, and the entire first. I think the first 3 songs, which is like 25 minutes long, is he's singing it, and I mean his voice just sounded weird. I couldn't figure out why. Apparently he was singing it through like a megaphone.
Oh, really?
Of some sort. Because then all of a sudden he came out and started singing 5 to 1, which is one of my favorite Doors tunes.
Right. I think it's everybody's.
I just fucking love it. It's just great. But he starts and goes 5 to 1, baby. I'm like, there's the voice, and all that was that. And then the rest of the concert, it was his regular sort of singing voice. Well, and I kept going back to the first few tracks. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, why does it sound so weird?
Apparently, what people don't know is he was actually incredibly shy, and so he always found like weird ways to be comfortable by doing weird shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Doors movie made it pretty clear with that one when he... Well, they danced around the issue, but they made it seem so spiritual. Yeah. But, you know, Jim, let him in, man, let him in. No, he just didn't want to face the crowd. He was quiet, he was shy. He didn't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Eddie went through something very similar, and then he had kind of a breakthrough moment as well. Where
the lead singer of Weezer, still to this day... has almost a full-on nervous breakdown before he gets on stage.
I would too if I had to play the shit they've been writing for the last 10 years.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, for the first while, he, every time he would go, before he did any performance live, he would barf his brains out and uncontrollable sweats and basically almost have to cancel every single show.
Now, allow me to qualify that with, I think their first 2 records are 2 of the best records that came out in the 90s. I genuinely do. And everything after that is just completely forgettable.
Yeah. That album with the song Hash Pipe is terrible.
Yes, it is.
I got my hash pipe.
It's all garbage. I do like the fact that all the different members write all the different songs, and that's why they're all different. I think that's a neat dynamic to have.
Yes.
Very difficult to have that work properly, and clearly, because it doesn't work for them at all. They end up with shit albums.
They just released a new album, by the way.
Yeah,
and it's even worse than the rest. I've heard only their first single. I'm thinking, is this the cream of the crop? Your first single?
You know who else just put one out? And they're touring, and I might actually consider seeing them. It's been a long time since the band's come to Vancouver that I've given a shit about. But Blink-182 put out a new album that's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with Blink. I love that live album they did. The Travis, whatever the guys' names are, show. And I gotta say, their banter in between the songs is so juvenilely fucking funny. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah. The dude, the main dude, he's all crazy and shit now. He's a UFO chaser and stuff. He's all weird.
The bass player or the guitar player?
No, the guitar player. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of their names, but he used to be on Coast to Coast AM all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a big freak. But the new album, definitely check it out if you can find it for free somewhere. I just got it on iTunes and gave it a spin. It was actually very, very cool.
Awesome. I believe I already own it. I just haven't listened to it yet.
Another one that I don't know if you're a fan or not. I was a giant fan. That's coming to town to the Commodore. I think they'd be great at the Commodore. Is Big Wreck.
Oh, yeah. They had a couple of decent tunes.
Like their second album was amazing. It was so much better than the first. The first was just like kind of radio friendly, and the second one was where they got, I don't know, they kind of cut their chops a little bit. It was really good, and I've never gotten the chance to see them live. I think they'd be really impressive. Ian Thornley's amazing. His solo album is retarded, and he did all the music on it. Actually, the first Big Wreck album, he did all the music on.
Really?
Yeah, he did it by himself, and then he hired the band. So
I did not know that.
that makes it a little bit cooler.
That's true. I always remember hearing, remember the I Mother Earth?
Yeah.
The original lineup with the original singer, Edwin.
Edwin was great. I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know the story behind his departure, but I've never liked them since.
No, I've never liked anything he did otherwise. He had a really cool music video that he did when he came solo, where his tattoo, or people's tattoos, would leave their body and join other people's bodies. It was just a cool idea. I love the idea.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
But that's about it. Yeah, it was a neat video. But when they released their album Dig, which is, for me, it's one of my favorite albums. I love that one.
I still put it on once in a while.
Yeah, it's a great fucking record. Some amazing guitar work on there, and just musicship is amazing on there, and just great production. But when they toured that, apparently they couldn't play it live well.
Oh, really?
Which is not surprising, considering how many layers are actually on it.
That's true.
Like you need, in order to pull off, like even the song that, what's it called, Rain Will Fall, even that song alone, to pull that song off live, you need like quiet in order to pull off parts of it, just in order to make everything sound right.
That's true.
And a friend of mine had saw them live. They actually, I Mother got to open up for Rush.
Wow.
And very big deal for them, obviously, because it was a major Rush tour. And so he went and saw it, and he's like, the fucking opening act sucked. It's like they didn't even know what they were doing. I'm like, that was I Mother Earth, man. I played him the album. He's like, yeah, no, they didn't sound anything like this. This album sounds amazing. I would love to see the band hearing this album. He goes, but now that I've seen them, I'm like, I would never see these fucking idiots again. They were terrible.
It always sucks when bands do that. For me, it was Our Lady Peace. The first time I saw them live, they were just a huge disappointment because they've got like 10 guitars on the album, and then they're a 3-piece live, and they couldn't recreate the sound that they had like on the first record. And Rain, I know he gets excited and he's an emotional dude, but he can't sing on key to save his life.
I never liked the band ever.
I can forgive to a point. I really did. Their first 3 records are great, and then he got married and he started letting Chantel Crappy Asslick write his songs, and they just got terrible. Like they did a bad album with Bob Rock. How do you do a bad album with Bob Rock? I don't
Bob
understand.
Rock has everybody's biggest albums.
Yeah.
Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. Fucking, I mean,
every Metallica album was good, and
their Black Album on.
Everything, like, as soon as they ditched him, that's when they, well, in my opinion, they died. But
yeah,
they all died in a bus crash after the Black Album, and they didn't make anything else ever again.
Well, I will always give Metallica credit for the S&M album.
You know what? I've never heard it beginning to end. I love the concept, and I've never listened to the whole record.
I've never listened to the whole record all the way through either. I don't have to. The concept of being able to take heavy metal and classical music and putting it together, for me, it's perfection.
Oh, if you listen, you can hear heavy metal all through it. You can. That's why I'm working on a symphony, because I'm a pretentious bastard, and it's definitely got like metal influences. You can hear that, and it makes you appreciate it on a different level, and it makes it easier to explain to old people. This is why I'm such
a fan of like Yngwie Malmsteen and stuff like that, because here's a guy who's known for playing extreme speed for solos and everything,
which doesn't impress me at all.
There's certain levels. Like, I mean, sometimes I've been just, again, being a guitar player that's always wanted to play fast, I never could. Certain things do impress me with it, but what impresses me with Yngwie specifically is that he was able to take straight up classical songs, Tchaikovsky, Mozart, the classics and rewrite it and play it alone on the guitar.
That's very cool.
The notes, and that's just impressive because now there's a plethora of fucking guitarists that are all doing the same thing. It was like, oh my god, look what they can do. Fuck you, Yngwie did it first.
Exactly.
You thank heavy metal for that.
There's a couple of great examples. There's a guy, look him up if you're into that kind of stuff. There's a guy named Victor Wooten. He's an amazing bass player who does things like that. And he always just plays solo. And he's just a young guy too. He's about our age, but he's been playing for 20 years, doing this live show. He does a version of.
What is his last name? Who? What?
Victor Wooten. Wooten.
Oh,
He's an
American guitar player.
He plays an 8-string bass, which is ridiculous.
Oh.
And he does a version of Amazing Grace that's just so. It sounds like there's about 3 guitars going, and it's just him. And he looks like he's not even playing. Like he's very frustrating.
Fuck, he even has a band that has 2 other bass players.
Yeah.
He took Ned's to a whole new fucking level.
And if you watch live videos, they mostly just stand around and shake their heads.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny. He's the Yngwie of bass.
Oh, cool. I always remember Stuart Ham and Billy Sheenan were the 2 big Yngwies of bass playing.
Yeah.
Stuart Ham, who was mainly a studio musician, who had played with pretty much everybody in the fucking 80s. Joe Satriani, he was just bass player for Joe Satriani, most all of his albums.
Oh, wow,
Some Steve Vai and things like that. And Billy Sheenan, who, Mr. Big was his biggest thing, which is, God, that band bugged the shit out of me so much. I hated that singer. You've got an amazing drummer, a fucking stupid good fucking guitar player. Paul Gilbert is amazing on the guitar.
Yeah,
he's a goofball and he's an idiot, but I mean, he's unrealistic on a fucking guitar. And you got Billy Sheenan on bass. You've got the ultimate fucking super group. And they come out with, I just want to be with you.
They were
and
great.
That singer was terrible.
There was a whole.
My father saw a music video of that song, and that's like, wow, that is the ugliest chick I've ever seen. I'm like, that's a dude.
There was a stretch right there. Right when that song came out, there was a whole bunch of them came out that were just like that. That's when you had Extreme.
Yeah.
And my favorite was Slafter.
Slafter. I don't even remember Slafter.
No, it's Slaughter, but.
Oh, it's Slaughter.
Slaughter is just laughter with an S.
You fly to angels.
It's just this string of terrible bands, and then Ugly Kid Joe came out and broke it up. In my opinion, they did.
Ugly Joe is amazing, and for the record, the drummer from Ugly Kid Joe is now the drummer for Godsmack.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder what happened to Ugly Kid Joe.
I actually did know for a stretch there, but
Shit. I might retract the Sugar Cubes and do Ugly Kid Joe.
I really liked Ugly Kid Joe.
You know what? I'll wait till season 2. We're doing a metal episode for season 2, because we're already planning a season 2. So
Please let me be a part of that one.
I'll save Ugly Kid Joe for the metal episode. I know they don't quite qualify, but they're close.
Well, they have a song called "I'm the Goddamn Devil," so technically that's got to work for metal.
I'll do for the metal season. I'll do Ugly Kid Joe and Green Jelly.
Oh, nice. Now, is Green Jelly metal or are they industrial? I guess
That's a good question. I don't know. I just missed them when they were in town, and I'm really mad about that. I don't know what they are. Just goodness.
Because I know that like the bands that spawned from them were all like industrial bands that got spawned off of them.
Yeah, I think industrial is just an
just
excuse
metal.
for not being able to play. Like they weren't good enough to play metal, so now they're industrial. No, you just bang on your guitar because you can't play it. That doesn't make you industrial.
Well, that's pretty much exactly what Al Jorgensen of Ministry said about it. I didn't know really what I was doing, but I was really good with computers.
Yeah.
I was good with mixing boards, and I could do things with mixing boards that people couldn't do.
He's hilarious to me because the persona and the person do not match at all. You see him in an interview, and he's a nerd, and he's like super articulate nerd, and stuff like that. He's just good on computers. Didn't know what he was, and it's like, what? You're fucking Ministry, dude. Like.
But not only that, but he's got this tremendous heroin fucking career that he's been working doing heroin for fucking ever. His biography is hilarious because he talks about how horrible his childhood was and how his family mistreated him and he never had friends. And all throughout, every time when Al Jorgensen talks about something like that from his childhood or tells a story from his childhood, how it traumatized him, there's his parents and their family that'll interview and they're like, yeah, we have no idea what he's talking about. That actually never happened. That day when he says that happened, here's actually what happened that day.
Yeah.
I have no idea why he's saying this.
You know, it's funny.
He says he locked himself in his room for months on it because he had no friends. He goes, he was never home. He was always out with friends.
Yeah.
They would have friends come over. They would hang out.
Eddie Vedder has the same thing, and he finally came out with a lot of truth in the last few years. But he talks about his terrible childhood and all. He was a child model. He was like famous when he was like 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a very comfortable life in San Diego, just up in the suburbs. He's trying to deny it. He checked himself out of school and went to a shittier school just to like be on the bad side of town and shit. But it's not where he was from at all. He had to like sneak home to his nice rich neighborhood.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. See, I like it when bands are honest about it. Like Pink Floyd is a perfect example.
Oh yeah.
You have 4 people, minus Sid Barrett being the exception to the rule, but the rest of the fucking members of the band, they were all rich, pretentious, all going to be architects and fucking, engineers and shit. And, they did what they did so that they could make money.
Yeah, exactly.
They were unabashed about it. They didn't care, and they said, okay, well, if we do this, this is what the music is doing today. So if we do this and tweak it to this way, this should be the next biggest thing.
Exactly. And look at the influence they've had. It's funny. Faith No More was another one of those bands that they hated each other. They took 5 different tour buses everywhere they went, but just the money they were making was too good to give up. So yeah.
Oh, it's so weird.
Kurt Cobain was one of those guys too, though. If you see interviews with the family now and stuff, he spent his whole life talking about being a rock star and talking about how when he was a rock star, he was going to talk about how he didn't want to be a rock star. He was a character. Everybody is in the music industry. Nobody's actually that guy. I made a point of it on that philosophy podcast actually, where I said, I'm being as me as I can be on the air, but I'm not really being me. This isn't the real me. This is the podcast me. It's a different character.
See, I can't say that.
No, I don't think. Well,
I only know how to be me. I mean, like, there's variations in the sense of there's like when Gord's at work, Gord.
Exactly. I was just gonna.
But you know exactly who I am, no matter which person you're talking to.
I've never heard you in a work situation just start screaming about Justin Trudeau and telling him to fuck his hat.
Happens on a somewhat regular basis.
Which I guess we should, there's no point now, but I'll sneak a little bit in because I just wanted to point out that he did today say he wants the pipeline up and running as soon as possible.
That is a shock, by the way.
He had to do something to save face.
It's just weird that this is what he chose because this is a hot topic. This is the pipeline, face it, the pipeline is the reason the Conservatives didn't win.
Exactly.
So for Trudeau to turn around immediately and be like, okay, we're going to get the pipeline up running, he literally has just betrayed every person that actually did vote for him.
He has. You're exactly right. But he also finally made the right decision, and that it just makes sense. The country is failing miserably, and this is something that will save it.
Yeah. I heard a guy who worked on he's from one of from Alberta, and is actually his direct. I'll see if I can get the quote right. It was amazing. I've never known of a country that is actually going out of their way to make families homeless.
Yeah, right.
And it was such a hard hitting. And the girl interviewed, she's like, "Well, that's a little harsh, isn't it?" He goes, "Is it? Think about it. You're talking about turning the entire country against one province. because they produce something that people claim they don't need.
Right.
But look what happened, and his comeback was great because he goes, look what happened with BC. BC stands up and says, you're not putting that fucking pipeline through our province. Fuck you. You're not doing it. So Alberta said, all right, fuck you. We're not going to. You know what? We're going to turn off the fucking, you're not going to get any. We're going to fucking turn it off. And BC's like, fuck you. We're suing you because you're not turning it off.
But people didn't notice unless you lived here the residual things that happened. The price of Alberta beef went through the roof. It doubled overnight.
Yeah.
We were paying a $15 steak was $35 one day. And that was just part of it. You know, it got really nasty. And now I think he came around on this one because there's serious talk about the Western provinces separating.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
BC,
Alberta's actually
BC,
looking to. Alberta was looking to separate. BC was looking to separate.
Well, they'd go together. It would be Alberta, BC, Saskatchewan would all go. The three of them would go, and then kiss all your resources goodbye. We've got them all.
Yep.
So I think that was. It wouldn't work. I don't think it would ever really happen. But the threat of it was enough to make him smarten up. It would triple. Once this pipeline's up and running at capacity, it'll triple Alberta's oil production. So that's some, I don't know, $1 billion a year, $500 million a year, or something like that, extra.
It's funny. Every liberal, every bleeding heart fucking liberal or NDP, they're the same fucking thing nowadays. But every one of them that had the whole thing about being against the pipeline, all I had to do was bring up one fact, and every one of them were just like, oh, fuck yeah, I guess you're right. Every one of them was, the simple fact was plain and simple. You tell me what's worse. A pipeline bursting either over land or underneath the ground in a contained area in ground where you can dig up the earth and replace it with other earth, or in the ocean on a tanker.
Yeah, exactly.
Where that shit spreads and destroys everything for miles and miles and miles. You tell me what you'd rather deal with.
Let's be fair. This pipeline is going to put oil on tankers. That's the direction it pumps. It pumps to BC, and then we put it on tankers to China.
Yeah, but that's just it. The difference is the tankers are going to be leaving our port and going somewhere else.
Yes, and it's going to be 4 more a day. It's not like the harbor is going to sink under all these thousands of ships coming in and out. It's 4 more ships a day than we already currently have.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite comebacks. They every one of them is.
Well, yeah. Well, the other alternative is trains, like I've been saying for the whole time, and go look at Quebec and see how you feel about that.
Yeah.
Especially through the forest where the spirit bear is.
Right.
You want to see that little bear blow up?
Do you want to see barbecued spirit bear? I don't.
Remember the whale in Nova Scotia? This would be like that, except spirit bears.
That shit just makes me laugh.
Oh, the video is amazing. Definitely will become a holiday when Eric and Gord are Prime Minister. That'll be a thing.
Absolutely.
Where every province, it'll be like the celebration of light, where 3 countries compete for the best fireworks display. We'll do it every year where all the provinces compete. And each province has to blow up a whale in their own fashion.
The celebration of blubber.
Yeah. It'll be, I don't know. I'll come up with a good name for it. Like,
whale fat day? I don't know.
Something.
It's the greatest.
That's what I'm going to
I
think of.
fucking love that shit.
It'll be,
I just love the guy who set the whole thing up, who actually did the dynamite. I just loved his idea. He just walks up and goes, well, we figured this much would work, so I tripled it. On a whim, fuck it.
That's just good thinking.
Yeah. We figured this much dynamite would be enough, so I tripled it. Just stuff it in there, it'll be fine.
What can I shouldn't be thinking of this on the show, but I'm trying to think of one that'll... I'll come up with it.
Yeah, I got
come up with it before the end of the show. A good name for that, and it will definitely be... It'll be mandatory. If you want any federal funding for anything in your province, you have to blow up a whale a year. That's what it's based on.
We won't win just because of that platform.
Well, I'm not going to bring it out until I win. There's certain things I'm keeping to my chest until I get in. I can't. There's lots of stuff that wouldn't get us voted for if I let it all out in the campaign. That's a terrible idea.
That's just so funny. I want to be the province that ignites up a blue whale because they're the biggest ones.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want.
Oh, that'll be a big thing. Picking your type of whale and
right.
Oh man.
People die from use a killer whale. People die because the teeth get launched.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Be tusks flying everywhere.
You get that one group that pulls off like a dozen belugas because they're all small. And we only patch fireworks up their assholes, so it's going to be great.
We won't be allowed to do orcas, unfortunately. But we could probably throw a few dolphins in there to make up for it.
Oh, I assume so.
Nobody's loving the dolphins anymore.
We'll do like a turducken of whales.
And that's why you're not the vice prime minister. That's why you're just the co-prime minister. It's ideas like that are going to keep us ahead. That is amazing.
The Terwhalen.
The Terwhalen. It'd be a whale, a shark, and I don't know. A small
dolphin, a mermaid, and a unicorn.
A whale, a shark, and a mermaid. Oh, I love it.
Inside a blue whale.
That'll be the other thing.
And then held together with the tusk of a bunch of fucking orcas. There you go.
A narwhal. A narwhal tusk.
Or narwhal. There it is.
Big narwhal horn. Unicorn horn. That's amazing. I'm going to go home and draw that tonight. Or do a Photoshop thing. I should post that photo on Facebook, by the way. I forgot. I just sent it to you.
Oh, really? I'm the only proud owner of that photo? No, you got to post that. That's fantastically funny.
I did it just before we went on the air. I'm thinking about it all day, and I had just gotten around to it, so I didn't even have time to post it. I just gave it to you to cheer you up because I was late. I don't know why I'm obsessed with Sasquatch's fucking things. It's just hilarious to me.
Hang on. Hey, Eric.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to read you something.
Okay.
A guy just posted this to the Milton Talk website.
Oh, good.
I posted this about a month ago, and I'm really impressed with the applicants we've had so far. I just need 2 or 3 more so we can start in-person interviews. My company, Donor Engine, is seeking a local talented individual to handle our content creation strategy. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, would be to schedule podcast interviews, conduct interviews, write press releases, articles, and create memes. Yes, memes is actually a large part of this job. You must be inquisitive and a great sense of humor. Bonus points for experience with nonprofits.
That's exactly me. That's what I do all day, every day.
Salary is $30,000 to $40,000 a year plus profit sharing and benefits package. Entirely work from home.
When does he need the application? Is what, Milton Talks? Where do I find this?
It's I have to send you an invite for it.
Yeah, I do. That's me. That's the champion tree. That's exactly me. That's what I do.
Actually, here, I could do this one better. I just got to message this guy, and I can tell him. I said, actually, my buddy Eric would be fucking perfect for this job.
And scheduling
send him a message.
I've got all the insider tips. I mean, groups.
Message him right now.
And I can also promote him on now 3 podcasts. As I am officially the host of 3. Joe Rogan's not. He's just got his stupid one. That's really cool. I guess that's pretty much all we have to say, isn't it? I don't know anymore.
Oh, I really enjoyed tonight's episode, just saying.
Oh, it's very much fun. I always love talking about music with you. And I guess we'll have to try and schedule Adrian tomorrow if he's willing. It just wasn't going to work out tonight. It was very last minute for me, unfortunately. It's been a rough day. And then Friday, we've got David Wright. Baltimore's
Yeah.
new rapper, Checkmate, I think is his rapper name. I'm pretty sure it's Checkmate.
Is it Checkmate?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. There you go. I just gave him a reference from the 90s.
I like it. Yeah, he's a very cool guy. Very scary looking, but he seems nice. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's in Baltimore and I'm here. What's he gonna do? I want to know if he's heard of DeBarros. I think that's. I'm gonna start Celebrity Feud tomorrow night between him and Adrian DeBarros. And neither of them know it yet, but they're gonna hate each other by the time I'm done tomorrow, Friday. Sorry. So on that note,
it won't let me tag you in this. I've sent this guy a message. It won't let me tag you in the message. That's
can you just say Eric?
Yeah, but
okay, kids.
Okay.
So as Gord tries to help me get another job because I just don't have enough right now. Send in your emails and get $25 and go on Facebook and listen to BB Smart. And we will talk to you in roughly 23 hours. Until then, take care of each other.
$25 free, you fucking jerk offs. Do it.
With dick.
With dick. I might even send you a dick pic if you fucking do this. Come on. I won't actually. I'll send you some dick pic.
I'm going to send one to himself right now.
Watch it. You might get general awards just for sending it. I can't wait till he actually gets.
Does it take you?